Welcome to Sports Talk with Kamau and Felix. Welcome to another wonderful, wonderful Saturday in the world of sports. Thank you, Love and Stuff community, for supporting us as always. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. We're gonna wrap up the NBA finals. We got the Olympics going on. We got training camp going on. We got college football going on. Oh man, it's a great time for sports, and I'm really, really excited about getting today's show going. Welcome to the show, Mr. Felix. How you doing, sir?
All right, and yourself, sir. You all right?
Good, good, good. We look. Hopefully, we gonna pray these gremlins away. We're gonna have a great show. We're gonna go all the way through, and with no technical
Absolutely.
difficulties. Put them together. Hopefully, wishing and
Yeah.
praying, and we're gonna just have a great show. And I'm excited about today. I got my Tigers hat on. The Tigers are doing well. I think they're in second place right now.
Yeah.
After winning 7 out of 8 after the All Star break, I got my Tiger orange on. I got to see them play a couple weeks back. So hey, sports is great right now. Let's get right to it. Uh, Four in a row by Milwaukee. Colossal collapse, or was Milwaukee just putting, well, they just beating them up like they stole something? Which was it?
You know what? I'm shocked. I'm really shocked right now. I mean, you might as well get swept. I mean, be honest with you. You went up 2-0 after they tied it 2-2. In-game adjustment should. Some of that is on Monty, but some of that is on Chris because you out there, you the floor general. But you to just, man, squander 4 games like that. And then the 5th game, y'all let him go out and get 50. He made a statement. Man, I'm not, I don't even know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. I'm shocked. That's the word, shocked.
Really surprised that they did come back and win it. I
Right.
know that people was talking about Drew Holiday. I got another name for him. I go back old school. I call him J. Rue the Damager because J. Rue the Damager was killing them
Yeah.
in Game 3 and Game 4. Game 5, he was there. Game 6, he kind of fell off a little bit, but he didn't have to in Game 6 because that's when Giannis went to work and just put him on his back like Superman. Uh, Willis Reed style in Game 6, and they just had to follow his lead. And I didn't think him playing that bully ball the way he did was going to get him that way to get him that championship. But it just seemed like they just kowtowed to him. They just got scared.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Aiton. I don't know what happened to the rest of the guys on that team. It just seemed like he said, "Okay, I got you." And his team was like, "We gonna rebound. We gonna get second shots. We gonna put you in a position to score." And he just went down and dunked on him every chance he got, and he made those free throws.
Yeah. Them beat them free
17 out of
throws.
19.
Yeah.
2 weeks before that, he was airballing them on the road.
Yeah.
So somewhere in between that, he went and did his relaxation exercises, his concentration, and he made those free throws. People say they feel bad for CP3. I do, but I don't. I feel bad that anybody has an opportunity to get that far and they don't make it. And sometimes it's just not for you. The league hasn't been kind to him. They vetoed his trade back when he would try to get to the Lakers. He was down in New Orleans for all those years, hanging out with Lil Wayne. AD was able to get out, but that's a whole nother story. CP3, I've never thought of him as a great guard. I've never thought him better than Terry Porter. Terry Porter, I still think to this day Terry Porter is a better guard than CP3.
Really?
Uh, Pretty much do a lot of the same things. Get to the lane, find the open man, shoot short range, play good defense. But Terry Porter was a lot stronger than him also. So I've never thought of him more than Terry Porter or the other guy who played for the Phoenix, the little guy that would dunk on people all the time. I forget his name. That
Kevin
played with
Johnson.
say again,
Kevin Johnson.
Dennis Johnson. Not
No,
Dennis
Kevin
Johnson.
Johnson. Kevin Johnson.
John, I forget his first name. I can barely hear you.
Yeah,
Funny
Kevin
part is
Johnson.
my son set me up with a system, and it was working before the show started. And then all of a sudden, when the show started, the system wouldn't work, don't want to work.
Word, don't
So
work.
got to keep rolling.
Yeah, Kevin Johns.
So, DJ Johnson that dunked on the big guy, on Celtic guy in the playoff game that time. So I remember him. I never thought that he was better than him as a point guard. So he's 16 years, 17 years in the league. That's great. And you're in the finals. A lot of people can't say that they've ever done that. So I'm happy for him.
Right.
But at the same time, those are breaks. I didn't make it to play college football. Those are breaks. He's not gonna get a ring. Those are the breaks. What's the name? Trying to go play for the Lakers. Mailman and the glove. They didn't get a ring. Those are the breaks. I think the glove got a ring in Miami.
Yeah, he got a ring. Follow Shaq until Shaq went, right? Until he got one.
Yeah, I was in a serious limited role, but hey, he got one. But it almost wasn't meant for him. That's just how it is in the league sometimes. And and I just think it was interesting how they brought out what really happened while he got pushed. Did you hear that? What he said?
What he said?
When he said after he said to Boogie Cousins, what CP3 said to Boogie Cousins that made his teammate, that made what's name pushing. He said to Boogie Cousins, "My son got more money in the bank than your broke bleep bleep bleep." And that's when his teammate came to his defense and pushed CP3. And so that's why what's the name got Brother Williams got a couple games on the next season. He had to sit out. And, you got to protect your teammates like that. That's what it is. And you can when you look at the picture, they were showing the pictures how what's the name's face was like, "Come on, man, you got to say all
that." When your emotions is running high, and then you just lost. That's what it was. So
that's what happens sometimes. You let those emotions take the best of you. What do you think about Monty Williams? Was that a class act for him to go into the locker room and say congratulations?
I mean, yeah, the better team won. You're supposed to, you made it. Some of that was, like I said, some of it was Monty Williams, some of it was Chris. Chris, you the floor general. You got, like you said earlier, you got 16 years in the game. Monty, for him to go over there and give him, for him to go over there and give, congrats. A lot of coaches don't do that. That was a big part of, that was a big man step, You should.
I'd have said thank you and congratulations in the press conference. I'm not going in the locker room. If anything, I'd have been there stole some liquor.
You use that as motivation for next season. I would have went in the locker room, sure. Go in the locker room. I even would have took a bottle of champagne. Why not? I mean, he's there.
I would have stole some champagne. I would have been congratulated.
No, I wouldn't have toasted it. I would have took it for my own personal collection. And I said, okay, well, watch this. You know what I'm saying? But I would have used it as motivation for next year. Like, look, this is what we can be doing next year.
Yeah. I think they got a good shot next year if they keep the team together and they learn how to run a full set and score like we talked about this early in the playoffs. Teams that would do well are able to get a shot when they need to, and that's what Milwaukee was able to. We talked about Milwaukee being able to get a shot in the half-court set, and that's what helped them make them successful. Leonard Forrest, thank you, sir, for coming in this morning. We do appreciate you. Thank you for joining us on Sports Talk with Kamau and Felix. Thank you, sir, for coming in. And as always, we want to make sure we plug our book, Gratefulness Journey Every Day. Mr. Marcus Holmes, right there. See that young man right there? That's the young man. He's behind the scenes, pulling all the strings. He's like the Wiz, and he lives in Oz. And we want to make sure we support this young man. Go to Amazon, get the book, Gratefulness Journey Every Day. Be grateful for what you have, grateful and thankful for what you have, and knowing that life is going to be better if you continue to be glad for what you got, not what you don't have. All those double negatives, like I don't know how to talk. Excuse me. Thank you guys for everybody coming in, and just thank you for supporting us. Yeah, I look forward to this every other Saturday doing this, getting up and doing this. I was a little under the weather all week. It seemed like I woke up this morning. I was feeling a lot better. I guess maybe it's my adrenaline trying to get me ready for the day show. I was trying to set up the remote, couldn't quite get it right together. But in 2 weeks, we're gonna have that together. We talk about stretching it out, taking it to the people, going to see the good people out there. Let's see here, Devin Booker. He had some good games, but did he? Obviously, he didn't play well enough for them to win. He's not quite the leader type in terms of leading his team. He's the assassin. Uh, uh, he has to be put up some numbers. He put up some numbers, but I don't know. What I kept saying is the opportunity, the mumble's too big for those of him around him. You start seeing DeAndre Ayton kind of backing off a little bit. You start seeing 99 backing off a little bit, which kind of surprised me because he was a championship player the year before, playing in the finals with LeBron, and he stepped his game up in that series to win. To see those guys kind of back off a little bit surprised me, and it's just those untimely turnovers. It seemed like every time you look around, CB3 on the floor falling, and hit the ball rolling out. I don't understand that. I really don't. As a point guard of his caliber, losing the ball like that's just not something that you can do and win. Of course, he didn't do it and win. But we don't see what's going to happen in the future. CP3 has an opportunity to come back to that team. I think he's a free agent. Book is signed to that team. And they have a good core. Speaking of a good core, let's go back. Let's look at Milwaukee. So we're looking at Middleton, who used to be a Piston. We're looking at Giannis, who could have been drafted by the Pistons. We're looking at Drew Holiday, J. Rue the Damager, coming back from those good old 1980s rap days. I'm surprised nobody said that. I've been waiting to hear somebody say, of course his name is Drew Holiday. But when it's spelled J. Rue, you got to bring back J. Rue the Damager. He was such a, I'm not saying a great rapper. He was a good rapper back in the 80s and 90s. And you got Lopez, who was more than happy to play his role. You got Bobby Porter, who more than happy to play their role. Those guys, and a couple of guys whose name I can't call right now, didn't mind rebounding. They don't mind kicking the ball back up to the top, setting that pick, understanding their role on that team. And the coach, I can't even think of his name, the bearded guy, he brown red guy with the beard. Oftentimes I would see him making those plays. It was almost like he would sit back, okay, what y'all gonna do? What y'all want to do? In today's NBA, that's not a bad thing. You want to take your cue from them. And also, sometimes every now and then, once or twice a game, you can't yell like you used to. Even as a youth coach, you can't. I learned over the years, you got to pick your spots because they're gonna tune you out. And especially at the grown man level, making all that money, those grown men making 10 times more money than you are. They know it's necessary, and they're gonna buy in if they want to be successful. But it seemed like as a coach, he was more hands off. Hey, I see you. But this is what we've been doing. Do we need to continue to do this for each play? And it worked for him. Let's see. I'm sorry, I pushed the wrong button. Get back over there. Get back. Where am I? Boom. There we go. All right. For those who don't know, I set my screen where I got my camera right in front of me so I can make sure I'm looking directly to the camera. So I push the wrong button to jump around a little bit. Let's see here. Here it is. Giannis with the 50 piece. Let's go 105. They put up 105. He scored 50.
Right.
And that's Superman right there. That's like you see the mama spider with all the baby spiders on the back, and they all clumped on the back. Right. That was Giannis scoring all the points on Thursday night. Was it Wednesday? Thursday night. Thursday night. I stayed up late watching the NBA TV coverage, and I'm watching Isaiah Thomas talking to all the guys and how excited they were, and see those two guys. The question of the night was, how much champagne have you guys drank? They look at each other and just bust out laughing. You were probably on bottle number 4 or 5 at that point. And I think what they say, to the winners go the spoils. So if they win, there it is. Mr. Trail Carson, welcome, sir. I'm so glad to finally get this young man on to come in and see the show. You said if there's a little pause in there, thank you for that feedback. Hopefully, it cleared itself up. Welcome, Trail. Welcome, Mr. Leonard Forrest again. We talking about the NBA Finals and how the Milwaukee Bucks just went on a steamroll, four in a row after going down two, and once they won it on the road, I knew that they were going to go back. That Deer Park, when you got more people outside,
Yeah, you got more people
more
outside.
than you got inside, and all that energy is transferring all the way through that whole area. That momentum is just hard not to take advantage of. I work for the airline, and two of my coworkers were talking about going up there. One of them made it. They both from Milwaukee, and they always teasing us. We always tease back and forth about between being the baseball, the football, the basketball, of course, Green Bay. I tell them you can't be a Green Bay living in Milwaukee. You only get one game in Cleveland. So, but they always tease each other back and forth. One young lady, her and her family got a chance to be out in Deer Park. The other young guy we work with, he stayed home and was watching it on TV. And he came in. He was a 6 a.m. start. I get there at 9 a.m. He teetering. He said, "I got to go home. I've been up all night, and I had too many mixed drinks." And so he came in the next day. He said, "I had to go home and get some rest." He said he tried to make the flight up to make it to the parade, but the parade started too early before the flight got there. And so they had. It's right. You're right. Trey had to be allowed to be there because I can remember when the Pistons won it. They were out in Auburn Hills when they won it, and then having the parade downtown and having that kind of energy, getting there early, like the parade for the Thanksgiving Day parade, and having everybody coming down the street on Thanksgiving Day parade stuff, and how much fun that is. So imagine having at some point the Pistons are gonna get there again. The stadium is downtown. You got everything right there off of Woodward. You can watch it. Just think about it. What if the Pistons have 70,000 people in the Ford Field, 30,000 in Comerica Park, 18,000 in the stadium, and 20,000 people out there on Woodward? It can be done.
When?
It can be done. Will it be done? I don't know. What's happening, Sean? What's happening, research? Brother, good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. We were just about to wrap up our coverage of the NBA Finals, and I'm trying to keep the dog quiet here. I got some treats for him. He think he's slick. Every time he come over here, you know he's going to get a treat, so I keep him quiet. I was really happy to see
parade down Woodward.
Parade down, that's right. It's going to have to start all the way in Highland Park. We're going to start in Highland Park.
No, that's not going to happen. Now with that Pistons,
you probably won't even police escort that day.
Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. We'll have a parade with the Tigers before we have a parade with the Pistons.
My sound. I don't know. I'm getting mad now. Say it again one more time, brother. I'm sorry.
Say we'll have a parade with the Tigers before we have a parade with the Pistons.
You have a parade for the Pistons. At this point, we have a parade for the West Side Cubs. We need to win something.
West Side. Right. The West Side.
We need to have a parade
Detroit for Rams, West 7 Rams, or whatever they name.
West 7 Rams for the East Side Colts, East Side, whoever.
Southfield Falcons.
Celebrate them all. And that's right. The Titans too. Whatever the little league team, we have PAL in Detroit. We don't have
PAL, right?
Like around the country, the other different places. My son want to say hi.
Right.
I'm sorry. Welcome, Mr. Brown. Thank you for coming in, Rob Brown, for joining us this morning. This is exciting for me today. We've been trying to get a lot of people to join us, and you are here. Thank you so much. Once again, we're going to go back to get your book, Great for the Journey Every Day. Book is written and proprietor, Mr. Marcus Holmes, that young man right there. He is the proprietor of All Things Love and Stuff. This is our offshoot sports talk with Kamau and Felix. Kamau and Felix, we need you guys to support. Go ahead and buy the book. Go to Amazon and get this book, please. And so we can help us, the Love and Stuff community, And on Tuesday nights, make sure I plug the Love and Stuff show. Uh, Make sure you see the Love and Stuff show. Come on Tuesday nights at 8:30 Eastern time. There's the title, Gratefulness Journey Every Day by Mr. Marcus Home. That handsome young man right there. Go on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon.com and Amazon.com and get it to your house in the next couple days. That's right, Rob. Even if University of Detroit. Speaking of University of Detroit, I'm glad you said that before we move off NBA coverage. The new head coach of the what's my man the new coach at?
Willie Green. Willie Green.
Willie Green, that's right. Detroit's on Willie Green as a head coach now in the NBA, and I'm very excited for that young man. Very humble, very smart, knows the game very, very well, and welcome him to the NBA coaching ranks. You read these stories about the stuff behind the scenes and how they negotiate and how I want to run the team my way, I want to run the team this way. Well, it's just like, hey, give me the guys, we'll work it out. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. No matter what those agents say, no matter what the GM say, at the end of the Cooley High, thank you, Sean. At the end of the day, it's about the players and the coaches. Once they come together, hey, I was in the league. I know what it's about. I know what we can do. Once we just need to come together. We're gonna let all everybody else handle their stuff over there. Kind of like what Dallas is doing. Dallas is having trouble right now because everybody else is in the Kool-Aid, but they don't want to know what the flavor is. Right now, they got about 5 colors of Kool-Aid and a 2-gallon pitcher, and they try to make the Kool-Aid. It can work, but it's not going to be too easy. It's not going to be easy at all. So we're glad to see Willie Green, Cooley High, University of Detroit, doing this thing. And at the end of the day, that's another millionaire. That's a positive role model, taking care of his family. That's setting up for generational wealth. That the stuff that we talk about, we don't talk about enough, I should say. We don't talk about that enough. And I'm just glad to see for that young man to move forward. All right. Olympics is here. Oh, my goodness. The best fortnight in the 4 years of your life, especially right now. We got football going at the same time. We got baseball going. We have the Olympics. The opening ceremonies was yesterday. and it was great to see that put together. It was disheartening to see the stadium so empty, but I like the fact that once they got the athletes in there, they put the athletes into the seats where the people that would normally would be there, and I'd love to see those outfits. To see everybody everybody come in with their flag of the country and those outfits, man. That was always my one thing. I want to go to be a part of Olympics just so I can get an opening ceremony and a closing ceremony outfit. And so, whatever it is, the best designers from all over the country, all over the world, really, for each country they design them. And it's always one person that stands out, and some big handsome hunk guy with the flag walking through, and then the ladies come through, and they all. It's also smooth and graceful in the front and in the back, but in the middle, it's a party. Every country is the same way. Everybody come in excited and happy because it's rare. Every 4 years, this year is 5. They pushed it back because of COVID, and I was going. I was headed out there. I don't know where I was going to stay. I don't know what event I was going to go. I don't know what I was going to eat. All I know is I was going to be on the plane, and I was going to go see my Olympics and just take some pictures outside the venues and come on back. But I understand it's it's a slap box to be an Olympic sport. That's funny. Just to be out there and say that's history.
Right.
That's history. Speaking of history, lighting of the torch, taking the torch up the nice walkway. Miss, I want to say Oksana Bayou, Naomi Osaka. She is a dual citizenship young lady with Japan and America. She represents Japan. She's going to play for their tennis team, and she is one of the favorites to win a gold medal in her home country. In her home country to go there and win a gold medal. And she's had some issues lately with mental health and way reporters treat people around the world and how they, even though the reporters aren't the one doing the plan, they talk down so much to the athletes, and they don't want to. Oftentimes, they don't want to talk. And she's not the only person who's ever expressed that. She's just one of the latest ones to express that. Excuse me. And I'm glad to see that she's going to get some. She's going to get a little bit of dispensation being in her home country. They're going to leave her alone. Of
Yeah.
course, they're going to. She won't be able to go very far without everybody taking pictures and adoring on her. But it's a lot different than when they're adoring her, as opposed to everybody saying, "Hey, what are you doing? How come you dress like that? I thought you said you're going to do this and this," as opposed to just saying, "Hey, sit down with us and have a cup of tea, and we're going to have a good time."
Right.
Thomas, welcome to the show, Mr. Thomas. You said Olympics should only be held in Athens. I don't see it benefits the whole city, especially if fans can't be in the stands. Go Canada. Very funny. I like the fact that it rotates. I like the fact that we're looking at that they're still looking at possibility of Detroit and Windsor co-hosting it in the future. That's been a possibility. Because you look at how things are with the World Cup. The entire North America is hosting the World Cup in 8 years. Mexico, Canada, and the United States, and they're going to have that tournament here. And I like that. Just the fact that it spreads things out. It gives an opportunity for everyone, especially with football being the number one sport in the entire world. Welcome, Ms. Ramona Cox. Thank you for joining us today. You're right, Rail. Is money, 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 money. We're going to talk about money in just a minute. As we get, we're going to wrap this up in a few minutes. Let's talk a little bit about the United States women's national team soccer. First loss in 44 games in 5 years. Man, they were shocked. I wasn't. You lose. That's what happens sometimes. It's international play. You cycle through. You cycle new players through. You cycle old with the new, and it happens. And so, but they back and they won today. Of course, the Olympics is 13, 14 hours ahead of us in terms of time. So I like that. The fact that they came back. All right, let's see. We got Mr. Leslie King. Let's make sure we keep up with our comments. Also, a lot of different people that look like you are invested in. You are the ones asking questions for me instead of culture vultures. All right, let's see here. Rob, the media and the like think they own the athletes and they should have 24 access. Osaka told them to kiss her butt. She's taking out time off for mental health. That's right. So, and it's like at home. Sometimes you come home, baby, give me 5 minutes. I need to get myself together. I still love you. But just like the same thing for them. Let's see here. Let's see. Can't believe lost 3-0, but the same team they lost to before. So are you talking about the U.S. women's national team? They played Switzerland. They lost to Sweden first. They beat Switzerland this time. No, I'm sorry, New Zealand. Because I was watching the interview. I'm sorry, Mr. I know I'm talking too much today. Felix looking at me like, slow down, brother. I know that look.
No, I'm there, man. I'm over here enjoying it, Rich.
New Zealand hadn't been together 16 months, so it's a little bit difficult for their team to play. So that for them to lose 6-1 today, it's not a big issue to me because when you got these COVID protocols and everybody's playing around the world, the only time they got a chance to get together is like now. So a lot of these teams don't get a chance to see each other until within the 6 weeks before the tournaments. And you look at the WNBA, and a lot of those teams are. A lot of those ladies play from all over the world as well, and they don't get a chance to get together like that. All right, Thomas, that money goes to which right people. It really benefits citizens of the whole city. Rotating the games is nice, but once the games are over, so are the benefits. I'm not looking forward to the games in LA. That is very true because you look at a lot of the winter, especially in the winter sports. You look at those winter cities. They build them all up, and they built those venues. And then they don't really use them a lot. They just kind of sit there, unless it's ice hockey or something like that.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Let's make sure we stay on task. The handball uniforms. It was a country who got sanctioned. The young lady said, "We're not wearing these little bitty tight bathing suit types. Why can't we just wear regular shorts?" and they were sanctioned for that.
Oh,
I understand that there's a uniform for every team, but it wasn't a necessary uniform for the handball.
oh,
You look at if you look at the men's team, they're wearing regular shorts. You look at the women's team, they're wearing basically bikinis, and they're not in a pool. They're not in a venue where it would be more conducive to doing so. Um, so I know that's just the evolution of things, and they took the L because they said we're going to stand up for ourselves, and
right.
I'm glad to see that they did.
Okay.
All right, let's see. We got some more comments. Uniform protocol from Trail. It wasn't like that here in Atlanta with use of venues at the '96 games. That's true. My brothers down in Atlanta, they still use a lot of those venues, even though some of the ones that are further out. My brother lives in Fairburn. He shows me how they still use the shooting areas down there. But we're also looking at one of the more developed countries here in the U.S., where some of the ones that aren't as developed as they just kind of sit there. We're going to cover Olympic sailing. We will, Mr. Thomas. I know that's your passion. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know who's the captain this year and everything like that. But I promise you, in the next show, we're gonna talk about sailing just because you brought it up. And I know that's your passion, Mr. Thomas Williams. Mr. Thomas Williams, he's a good friend of ours in the Love Stuff community, and Michigan State graduate. And he spends a lot of his waking hours outside of making money out on the sailboat, and he's learned to do that. And I've always remember the gold cups from back in the day. Uh, back in the day,
Right.
the controversies of them racing in Australia. I always thought it was the coolest thing to see those guys with those beat red faces on Good Morning America, talking about how they're going to win the World Cup in racing, and it's also Olympic
Sweet
sport.
outfits.
And as always, as we move forward on the Olympics, the COVID dismissals, just like in the rest of the sports around the world, if they come up with the COVID, they're not even holding them up. It's an automatic forfeit.
Right.
We had a couple of teams just last night who Japan, I forget what the sport was. They automatically won because of the forfeit, because one person on the other team come up with COVID, and they have to be safe, and that goes back to not being having the people in the stands, and limiting. And a lot of the athletes didn't go to the opening and closing ceremonies because they were afraid that they could be exposed to getting COVID, even though they may have been vaccinated already. Thank you for coming back, Ms. Ramona Cox. She said, good for them for standing up for themselves. They should feel comfortable in these forums they wear so they can perform at their best. And we're going to go, as always, let's go right back to it. Great for this journey every day. Mr. Marcus Home, go ahead, go on Amazon, and go on Amazon, get your book. You can have it in 2 days. Prime Day was last month. It's still not too late to get you a book. Get you a book and just start your gratefulness journey. It's never too late to start. Now, football is the sport of kings. Better than diamond ring.
Right.
Football. Football is back. NFL training camps, uh, uh, college camps will be opening up within the next 3 or 4 weeks. And
Er,
biggest things coming out of NFL right now, you got a couple coaches who said, I'm not getting my shot. Yep, you're fired.
Yeah,
They get
yeah,
them
no
out
joke.
of there. Is it fair? Is that really fair? Is
Yes,
it fair?
yes,
I would say yes, because
yes.
you're looking at the greater good. It was everybody has their own right to take the shot for themselves. No one can tell you to take the shot or not take the shot. The way I see it is it's like uh, free speech. You can say what you want. You can say what you want, who you want, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be consequences.
Well, you got to
So
look at it like this. Okay, look at it like this. The NFL, that's the most popular sport. Like you just said when you introduced it, that's the most popular sport. That's over $1 billion industry. So here we go. You got to look at it like this. You're either going to get the shot or you're going to be unemployed. The NFL is going to survive before you. The NFL is going to survive after you. Go get the shot. Or here, if you need more, Talk to your team doctor. Talk to your own doctor. Go get, because at the end of the day, I can't remember his name. The receiver from the Cardinals, B. Hopkins. He like, well, I need to get more information. Go talk to your team doctor, or go talk to your own doctor. It's like, no matter, you already got in your mind, mindset. No matter what information I give you, you're not going to take the shot. Be prepared to be unemployed. It's just that simple. There's another you in the United States of America. It just got a different name. There's another LeBron. There was another Kobe, rest in peace. There's another Michael Jordan. There's another you. The NFL is going to survive. And I like what they're doing. If you don't, you're going to lose a game.
Taking a shot. I agree with you on that, Trail. The stance on taking the knee, they've kind of softened it on it. They were pretty much fine people on the spot like they were before, but they would just let them finish the game, and then you don't see them no more. There's still a few players out there like that they don't talk about, but with the COVID, if you're not getting your shot, they letting them go. I can tell my job specifically. If you're a new person in the building, if you're new to the company, they're requiring it. If you already have the job, they're not requiring it. They're asking you to. They're not mandating it. But if you're joining the company new, they said, hey, you got to be vaccinated.
That's what they did at my job. You can start it was last week. Well, the week before last, you don't have to wear the mask no more if you are vaccinated. So I was vaccinated. I did get vaccinated. I have the shot. And I don't carry my card, but I have a picture of it in my phone. My supervisor came to work. My supervisor came over to me and said, where's your mask at? I said, I don't have to wear the mask no more. I'm vaccinated. Can I see some proof? Sure. Open my phone up and showed him. Like, really? I mean, I know the rules. I'm not going to go out and neglect the rules. But on the same token, if I have to abide by them, you're a professional athlete. You have to abide by them. You're no better than me. You just play on Sundays. So, I totally agree with Roger Goodell and all of them. You have to start finding these guys, or you're going to be unemployed. Just that simple.
Yeah, it's that simple. It's not a hard thing, and we can argue all day about the facts about vax. Is it really working? And with the different variants coming, is it going to continue to work? But as of right now, according to the numbers, this is what they're mandating, and they've been mandating everything else for forever. This is not very much different than anything else.
Right.
There's a lot of people taking a hard stance on it. And you can have your stance. That's fine. But you can have your stance on the other side of the fence. And that's what they keep saying.
You got $30 million sitting on the table staring at you. The average person don't make $30 million in a lifetime. All you got to do is go get 2 shots. But you're like, well, I need more information. Right now, it's to the point to where there's no information I'm going to give you that's going to make you get the shot. Because if that was the case, you'd already got the shot. And now, like you said, it's freedom of choice. But also know that with that choice, you got to deal with that repercussion, which you're going to be unemployed.
That's true. Mr. King, you are right. Remember the league where for years they ignored the facts in the games on these bodies and minds. He's talking about CTE and getting, basically, we call it getting your bell rung. And right now it's when you get a concussion protocol. And they ignored that. But, once the facts come out, you can't ignore them no more. And all those lawsuits come around, they had to start making those changes. Let's see, Trev, replying to King, and all the top guys will give in there, always do. Now, baseball, them boys stay together and make the rules work for them, not the MLB. Now, that's something you haven't seen. You have rarely seen an MLB athlete go and get have been positive for COVID. They kind of nipped that in the bud last season when they started having all those cancellations. As soon as those vaccinations came out, it was almost like, I can't say 100%, but in the high 90% in MLB, they are vaccinated. And you don't even have those problems now. They were canceling games and rescheduling games left and right. MLB said, we got too many stadiums with too many people. That's what we're trying to get through, and we don't want to have these on-site playoffs like we have it. We want to get it back to the people, so that's what they did. Leslie, it's fair to say that there's no knowledge of any long-term effects of these emergencies conditionally approved vaccines. Yeah, that's true. They are still in the trial phase. They're still in the quote-unquote trial phase. So are we being the guinea pig? Yeah, we've been the guinea pig for pretty much everything else too. So at least at this point, we know up front that this is still in the trial phase. All right, we're gonna move forward just a little bit. College football realignment. Ooh, that's been a big story.
Yeah.
It seemed like yesterday afternoon, Texas and Oklahoma said, "We out. We going to the SEC." I said to myself, "For Texas, that don't make no sense. For Oklahoma, I can see them doing that. I can see them doing that. I can see for Oklahoma leaving, and because they would have an opportunity to be successful. But Texas, on the other hand, they still struggling in a lot of their bigger sports. But at the end of the day, it's about money.
Yeah,
and it's about getting to that playoff. It's about getting to that playoff. They're talking about making a super big TV. Let me run some numbers down. Let me pull it up. I just had it up. All right. They're talking about, for the Big Ten alone, 20 teams. The whole old Big Ten. U of M, Michigan State, Minnesota, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio State, Northwestern, Purdue, Wisconsin, Illinois. That's just one side. The old Big Ten and the new Big Ten. Rutgers, Maryland, Penn State, Nebraska, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Kansas, Iowa State, Kansas State, and Texas Tech. All joining the Big Ten.
What?
That's just one scenario. That's the Super Big Ten. They ain't even got to the Super SEC. Where they're talking about taking the old SEC and then all those Big 12 teams that we said, some of the teams from the new Big Ten, and put them all in one separate conference. Not even having crossover games, just having a championship game.
With the old Big Ten versus the new Big Ten?
They're talking about having a Super Big Ten.
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. You go take 10 with the old Big Ten, and then the other 10 would be the new whatever, the Big 12 or whatever, and then the championship
some of the new people that just joined the Big Ten, plus the holdovers from the old Big 12.
Okay, so then the championship game would line up the old Big Ten versus the new Big 12 or whatever. No, and then wait a minute, did you say Kansas was one of them teams?
Kansas was the first said they want to go to the Big Ten before anybody.
I gotta make a phone call.
Soon as Oklahoma and Texas left, Kansas said, we're going to the Big Ten. They asked for an emergency meeting yesterday.
No. I have to call. I can't remember the area code. I need to call down to Lawrence and make a phone call. No. Stay in the 12.
I can see Kansas being a good fit because football-wise, no. But the smaller sports, yes, basketball will fit right in. Soccer, volleyball, baseball, they would be just fine because they know better than anybody else right now. Basketball would be the biggest. They would have an opportunity to come and help and run the Big Ten. Who's your competition outside of Michigan State, Michigan? Kansas would do well.
No, Baylor is your competition. If Kansas comes over and Baylor comes over, their competition is Baylor. Now on the other side, Izzo, yeah, I could say. I got to do a little bit more research on Jawan. But yeah, they would dominate on that side. But who's to say Bill Sells?
It would still be a win-win for Kansas because they would have their own division. Every year they can still win. I will call it Big Ten West.
Okay.
They can still win the Big Ten West. They would have one team they would fight against. Oklahoma State, Baylor. Oklahoma State, Baylor. Think about it. That's a win-win for Kansas. You still got your regular conference. Your football team is up and down anyway.
No, they suck. All what it is, they suck, man.
You got facilities.
The football team is trash. The football team, okay. what I'm saying is, in college sports, you're not going to get both. So college, your football team is not going to be as good as your basketball team. Your basketball team is not going to be good as your football team. KU is known for basketball. Football has never been our cycle. So that's what I'm saying. Stay in the Big 12. Nah, don't come to the Big. Leave it like it is. No, don't come over here. No.
But there won't be a Big 12. That's the problem.
Well, then go independent like Notre Dame.
No.
Don't come to the Big 10.
They're not going to be anybody to play any
I'm being
football.
real talk. You come to the Big 10, you're going to embarrass yourself worse. Just stay independent, and you can play whoever you want to play. That's how Notre Dame gets all the bowls. They stay independent. Don't sign no conference because you suck in football. Football generates more money than basketball. Right? Football generates more money than basketball. And not to mention, you're signed with Adidas. That's not really going nowhere. You need a big name brand to back your big name school. They're signed with Adidas. They need to be signed with Nike. That's what I'm saying. So with that being said, go independent. You'll get a TV deal. You could probably mess around and get the KU network, just like Texas did. They went and they got the Texas, the Longhorn channel. You know that because you're down there. So that's what I'm saying. Stay independent. Don't come to the Big 10.
The Longhorn channel makes a lot of money. They make a ton of money.
But you're going to make money, but you're going to lose more money because nobody's going to support the football. Nobody's going to support the football.
I think at some point Notre Dame is going to have to make a choice. Just like this year, they had to go. They had to because they because of COVID, they had to make that choice. Long term, they don't want to. As long as they can keep their network, the Notre Dame network, and make that money independent. Notre Dame network is NBC. As long as NBC gonna keep paying them for those games and putting them on TV 7-8 times a year,
absolutely,
it will be in their best interest to go ahead and join the Big East or the ACC for a time. And as long as they got like Kansas will have it, as long as they can be on that one side away from Clemson and possibly away from Florida State and the ACC. And Carolina's been back and forth a little bit. Wake Forest has been up and down. But in terms of the stalwarts in the ACC, you're looking at Clemson and you're looking at Florida State. As long as Notre Dame don't have to play both of them every year, they would be happy.
But you're going to have to end up playing. You're going to end up having to play Clemson because if you go to the bowl, if you go to the playoffs, you're going to meet Clemson. There's nobody over there to contend with Clemson. There's nobody over there to
play them twice. Because they play them in the championship game. Because the ACC is where Clemson is. If Notre Dame stays permanently in the championship game, say for instance somebody win 23-24. It's a great game. Of course, the one team is going to get a higher seed, and they're undefeated the rest of the season. And so now you're looking at Clemson a 2, you're looking at Notre Dame a 7. Correct. They could possibly play each other again. You know what I'm saying? Or, they may not put them on the same side of the bracket. Because right now you're looking at 8 teams. Right now it's 8 teams in the championship game right now.
That's what that's what the playoffs is now. It's
8 games. They moved it from 4 to 8.
Okay.
And so talking about 4 years from now.
Being said, and you add them teams to the Big 10, that's still your powerhouse teams are not going to get there. For example, in order for Michigan to get to the playoff, they're going to have to beat Ohio State. That's not going to happen. Not with Johnny Boy at the helm. That's not going to happen. So each year you're going to send Ohio State. Okay, from the other side, who's going to come from over there? If you add Kansas, Baylor, and all them, you're looking at possibly Baylor maybe being the upset the one year. KU never going to play for to go to the playoffs. Never. That's what I'm saying. Go independent. And then when basketball season come around, okay, like going by what you're saying, if you split it up into brackets, it's gonna always either be KU versus Michigan or KU versus Michigan State. The rest of them teams, or everyone's in a while, you might have Baylor come out. But other than that, it's gonna always be a Michigan. It's gonna either be Izzo or it's gonna be Juwan. And then on this side, it's gonna be Self or it's gonna be the Homer or whatever the guy's name, the coach for Baylor. That's it.
Right.
So why not stay independent? You write your own ticket. That's why you stay independent. It's more money you stay independent if you go to the conference.
Well, it's a good case either way. Really quickly, Sean, do they play hockey in Kansas? I don't think they have a varsity team, but I'm pretty sure they got a team that they do play in Kansas. Let's see here. Sean Hackney has come to the end for Notre Dame in terms of being independent. We discussed that. Michael Strahan, Ready to Love. Is that Michael Strahan? Thank you for coming. If that's really you, sir. When did they make the move from 4 to 8? It is. I don't think it's this season coming up, but I think next season.
Right.
They've already discussed the signing those contracts and moving it from 4 teams to 8 teams for the 2023. I want to say bowl season, because this is the 2022 coming up this year, the 2023, and I think that's why they're trying to get all of this aligned now, so they can be a part of those power conferences, so they can be ready when it's time to go. It makes sense to get those ducks in order, and you're looking at a lot of those teams who even once they join those conferences and start getting that money, even though you're looking at Kansas State, you're looking at, let me pull this list up real quick, making millions of dollars. You're looking at Nebraska coming in the Big Ten, Penn State, because of the Big Ten network making big money. So Iowa State's not going to make, it's not making nowhere near as much money on the Big 12 network as they would be on the Big Ten network.
Absolutely.
The basis is just in terms of the basis is not as big. I like the fact that everybody said, okay, Big East, y'all want to go 20 teams? All right, fine. It ain't gonna work. When it blew up, they said, well, we can do the same thing in football. We're gonna start making these conferences, and it's kind of been a long time coming since the Southwest Conference back in the day with SMU and all those teams back together. When SMU got in trouble and they had to get out, and now they're in that small league, and they're still doing well. They're still making ball games. I go past that stadium all the time. It's beautiful down there, right off of downtown Dallas. And so right here, right where I am now, I'm in Fort Worth. I got TCU, literally down the street from me. I have who else I have? I got SMU right up the street. I got Baylor 45 minutes away. I got Texas an hour and a half from me. I got Texas A&M 3 hours from me. I have Houston 5 hours from me. I got Oklahoma just north of me. All these great places. I haven't been to the football games that I keep saying I'm gonna go just to go see what it's like. I've been to Michigan games. I've been to Michigan State games. I've been to other college games around the Midwest. I want to see how they do it down here. But the only thing that drives me crazy is the band. The band's a little bit different. The bands are different. It's Showtime band. It's not quite the same. Welcome, Mr. Curtis, to the show. We round things out, and we're gonna. We got 4 minutes left of the show. I want to throw this in, kind of half-hearted, kind of joking, kind of serious. We now have the Cleveland Guardians.
I mean, they had to do it.
I cannot say it with a straight face. I thought that was a joke. I look at the baseball with the wing on the side, and I'm like, what is this? Jetsons, and what are they doing? What did they bring it back? What's going on with it?
They had to do it.
I understand you don't want to be the Indians. I get it. We want to be PC enough. The Washington football team will probably always stay the Washington football team. I said that. I said as soon as he changed it, he was not going to change away from. He said he would never go away from being Washington Redskins. As soon as he changed to the Washington football team, he's probably going to keep it that way. So
they should have had a contest.
Come on, man.
They should have had a contest. It should have been the Cleveland. It should have been the Cleveland Angels. Cleveland Guardians.
You can't take the Angels from Anaheim.
Sure you can. It's more than every team has somebody else. Every team has another team logo by the same thing. Because eventually it's not going to be the Seminoles. It's not going to be the Chiefs. What is going to be? The Florida State the Florida State cockroaches. I mean, what is gonna be? That's what I'm saying. What is gonna be
Florida
in
State supposed
Kansas
to change
City?
their name. You're right.
So you're gonna have to change the name.
North Carolina should have changed their name.
North Carolina with the Tar Heels. Oh well, yeah. And I mean, you gotta probably ask Michael that one. Gotta ask Michael.
There's a couple teams that are still out there that haven't changed their name.
So what is Washington now?
The Washington, the basketball team?
No, the football team.
They're the Washington football team.
See? So that's why I said it should have been the Cleveland Angels. Okay. The Cleveland Guardians. What is that, man? That doesn't the Cleveland Guardians. Okay.
I like the fact that they could have went with the rock and roll, the Cleveland Rockers. You know, with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there. Yeah, you don't change them to Hurons and the Eagles. Yeah, I always like that. Like the Huron River and the Huron tribe right there. And let's see here. They should change the name, Cleveland Rockers, and use the Rudy guitar right out as a logo. I agree. Cleveland Rockers, because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is right there. Take advantage of that. That facility is beautiful. They have those. You can put the games. They have concerts. Concert venue in the stadium is very far apart. So take advantage of what you have there. Cleveland went from a city known for the lake being on fire, combusting for no reason because all the chemicals in the lake to go on from there. All right, we are getting close to ending the show. Make sure you sign up and join our Love and Stuff community, and also not only the Love and Stuff community. Make sure you sign up to be a part of the Sports Talk community. Thank you so much. This has been a great show. My heart is full. We had a lot of interaction. We had a lot of people coming out and checking us out. Make sure you do the polls. We will keep up on these polls. We're going to post a lot of polls for the Olympics. We're going to talk about the Olympics coming up. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about coming up. It is noon Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Central. And thank you, Felix, for a great show. Thank you, Marcus, in the background. Thank you to everybody who came out today. Make sure you get your book. Click like, click share. Let everybody know that we are here. And hopefully next week we can get in 2 weeks. When we come back, the next show is August 7th. Same bat time, same bat channel. And we're going to be looking to have some more fun talking about the Olympics and just having lots of fun. Last word goes to Sean. They're losing their minds here in Atlanta, or the Braves possibly changing their name. Yeah. That's where it's going now. It's PC, but not too PC. They're still mad about losing the All-Star game in Atlanta over the voting rights thing. So they're gonna figure it out. They're gonna figure out a way to make the money one way or another. But at the end of the day, it's licensing. Once they change the licensing over, they make the money on the new stuff, and then the retro stuff, and then people come on the retro stuff. It's money. It's money. But thank you. We out of here. We really appreciate you. We love you all. Click like, click share. Go back and watch it again, because I'm going to go back and watch the show. I know I done ran my mouth a whole lot today. That's going to be my critique for myself. I got to talk less. And I know Mr. Felix over there like, yeah, he talked too much. No. Mr. Goldman needs change to the Fighting Irish. What can they change to? Let's see. Just the Golden Domers. Why not be the Golden Domers? Why not? Thank you guys. Have a great week. Be safe out there. Be safe. Love on your family. And just thank you again. Have a great day.